Determined to stay alert, Pindy concentrated on each of his senses in terms that every whiff of smoke from a newly kindled fires, where breakfast plantains were frying, even every fluttering of a bird in the branches, every whisk of a broom sweeping dry leaves from someone's yard, every bucket that clanked in the grasp of those going to fetch water, pulled him from the grip of slumber. And then there were footsteps that Pindy did not recognize. He quieted his breathing until it fell beneath the passing breeze. She brought me right here every morning, even when she could barely walk. As soon as the next gust of wind shook the grasses, Pindy hastened to a new hiding place. From his position he could see the elder whose voice had reached him. She was sitting on a large flat stone, a young woman by her side. Her face, elegantly wrinkled, was lit with memory. Lost as these two were in either the joys of the bitterness of the past, Pindy knew they were no threat. Absently, he pulled a cola nut from the front pocket of his trouser, took a bite to keep himself awake and steady, smelled the nut, and the familiar ritual of chewing it brought his grandmother to mind. His grandmother, with her constant joking, no matter how unhappy life had been back then. It was sweet to remember her face. She took another bite of the cola nut, keep his eyes on the two women. "I never mind how you came into the world," his grandmother used to say. "You were brought here to live, so live." And that was all he'd ever get out of her. The wind had dropped in the quiet. Every sound was amplified. It seemed to Kipindi that his ears were vibrating. From his spot under the bushes he imagined context, each noise that reached in his ear, favorite pastime. Sometimes he would spend 3 or 4 hours on watching this way. Just then he heard a shriek, followed by a burst of laughter. He imagined the sounds of coming from a house nearby where a father was getting ready for the day. His wife and 5 children were showered first, using up the hot water. When it was his turn in the bathroom, cold water struck his body. He shrieked, "Why must I suffer like this every morning?" Cried as he did every morning, and the whole family, faces smeared with Vaseline, children in their school uniform and their mothers stylishly dressed to go to the waterfront store, joked and chatted. They did every morning too.